Wild Card Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wild Card game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchdown. Back.
Here we go. 90 Wolf.
On 1st and 10. Man. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Ready, set.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, orbit.
Looking to throw. Man. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. This is the tight end, Njoku. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Ready. Focus, defense, focus. Snap.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. A run for Nick Chubb. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Running for it. Here's Chubb. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there. And it helps him move the sticks. So give him the 1st down. 1st and goal after a pickup of 4. And the decision to go. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb taking it in. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. So much for being intimidated on the road in the playoffs, right? That was a pretty clinical drive right there.
Yeah, they seem to come out with the attitude of, we don't deal with pressure. We create it on the other team. Just took it right down the field and stuffed it in the end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Check 31. Check 31. Check 3. Check 3.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The tackle made by Eric Murray. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 26.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Jackson from the shotgun. He gets it to Brown, complete. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Jackson and the offense come up 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. They'll run on 1st down. It's Flynn. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Play action. Now Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson throwing on 3rd and long. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's...
At the 2. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor. He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. 2nd and 11. He's going to rifle one deep left side. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
The psychology of the game. Never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On 3rd down, Jackson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Ready, break.
The Browns drive about to get started. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb as the first half is winding down. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the play. Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he gets in. When no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation. If they just...
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as...
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 20, 10, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A big play there. 75 yards as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And he's got it. It cuts this thing to 2. It's 15-13 now. And Lambo now after the touchdown. He'll kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Man. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 45-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Hey, check. 3 down. Eyes on 10.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Off the bootleg. Man. And he completes it to Hunt. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
That's complete right around the 8. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 6 yards away. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
You got 3 down.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Go.
On 1st down, Flynn. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go.
From the 39, Jackson. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
No. Get wide. Go. If you kill it, motion me out. 55.
On 3rd down, it's Flynn. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
A gain of 6 yards. It's 4th down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Flynn, and the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns drive about to get started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And an alley to run. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. For a running back, that's kind of depressing, right? You get all that yardage, but still no first down.
Well, it was a mile, maybe a mile and a half to the first down mark.
Yeah.
So he did all he could to get there. A little disappointing at the end, but boy, they gave it a great effort, didn't they? Got to give him a little respect for that, don't you?
And he really helped his yards per carry average, that's for sure.
Yeah, quietly, he'll take that.
Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Man. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They give to Chubb out of the gun. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Back to throw. Man, pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded at the 20. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it.
They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, 29 yards, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Browns drive about to get started. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Strong left, strong left, strong left. We got
Go.
We got 3.
Now.
Right here's the line. Hey, watch his flat, watch his flat. Watch his flat.
From the gun, man. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a 1st down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run.
Hey, box truck.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, 62 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Important extra point up and through. And it might seal the deal as that makes it a 2-score game here with not a lot of time remaining. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40.
At their own 39-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked.
That's caught at the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big pickup of 38. Now Jackson. This is caught, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And the Browns are able to cover this one up. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
They're going to get about 3 here out of this 1st down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
3 down.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
7.
Put up. Check down, something. You got 3 down. 90 is a mic.
Ready?
Now this time he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
That's how we do it.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
90 is a mic.
Looking to throw. Man, he'll let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game. Check. Got that done. Win a wild card game. Big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.